the grand finale of the yearling sale season. 2 catalogs offering quality yearlings by the nation's top sires. A sale that has produced scary good results, with 5 Breeders' Cup wins in the last 3 years. Recent grads include Eclipse Champion and Horse of the Year, Thorpedo Anna, Eclipse Champion, Soul of an Angel, and many more of the sport's current stars. The Fasig-Tipton, Kentucky October Yearling Sale, October 20th through 23rd in Lexington, Kentucky. Where will you be?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Horse Races Now podcast. We get Kenny in studio 2 weeks in a row here, Kenny.
Yeah, it's local time.
It is local time. All right, Kenny, everybody's been asking. The internet's buzzing. So the official announcement came out on Thorpedo Anna. Why don't you walk us through it?
Well, a little complicated in the sense that we wanted to dot every I and cross every T. We had Dr. Bo Landry look at her on Wednesday last week, and then we had Dr. Bramwich take a look at her the following day. And it takes a little time to process all that information. And
sure,
we wanted to have all the info till we actually came forward with everything. And we were the last thing is that Keeneland had some sale plans for her too, and we wanted to get all those I's dotted and T's crossed too.
Okay.
But Dr. Bramwich came back, and she has a mild case of distal bone bruising. For those who don't know what that means, is where the cannon bone goes into the ankle joint. They can get a little sored up on that, and she obviously wasn't comfortable in a race. Maybe we should have picked it up pre-race, but she trained really well going into it. But you really don't know till they put a bad performance in, or you really don't want to look too hard in advance. But she trained great going into it, in our opinion, and she came out of it with this distal bone bruising. And it's minor stuff. Rattle and Roll's been through this. We've got a horse, Gould's Gold, who's got a small case of it. The day's technology can really lay it all out there and see this. You can't see it visually, and many times you can't see it on X-ray.
Gotcha.
But you can see it on bone scan.
Got it.
And when they bone scan them, they do. Dr. Bramwich does bone scanning, and you have to do that at Rood and Riddle or Haggard, Davidson McGee, or some other spots, and that shows you where what they call uptake.
Right.
And it's just the slightest amount of heat in there. But all 4 ankles had a mild case of bone bruising. And he said 60 to 90 days she'd be her old self, and you could put her right back in training.
Okay.
But the timing of everything is awkward. Or it might be good, like I said on the last show, is that let's get her filled out and, let her body kind of shift from racing, because she's a lean machine right now.
Yep.
And then we want to put some weight on her and let her rest, and that prepares her for conceiving, and hopefully we can get her on an early cover. And would love to think in February or March we get her covered. And you have to get her cycling, so you have to do all that. You put them under lights so that their body starts anticipating spring.
Okay.
Yeah, and so you get them cycling right, and then subsequently they get covered, and you want an early foal with her.
You broke all this down last podcast, and it kind of was mind-boggling. Actually, a lot of people responded that they had no idea. That's kind of what went into creating a broodmare. Talk to me about the Keeneland sale.
Yeah, well, Mark Edwards has been one of our longtime partners, and I don't think he's on for the ride for her as a broodmare. And Mark's chosen to sell that share. This is a little unusual. It's not normal. Most horses go through the sale ring for 100% of the horse.
Yeah.
And so Mark, the others didn't want to offer up their 20 or their percentages, including myself, Judy Hicks, and of course, John Sakura, the Hillendale team, got in recently.
Right.
So I'm sure they don't want to move, but we're going to offer it up. Keeneland's going to do that at what they call the Champions Sale in California.
It's going to be an auction, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a public auction. It's going to be, I believe, Wednesday prior to Breeders' Cup. There's an event out there, and we'll see. I mean, I don't know how market for that. I think it's a little unconventional.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Normal. Yeah, and I was kind of inclined to do it at Keeneland, but Keeneland seems to be of the notion that it'll work out there. And Mark's going to put a sizable reserve on her. I'm sure he's not going to give her away. And I've encouraged him to stay in. Been a wonderful partner and would love to see him stay in. But, it is a different path. This is a much slower process bringing her around as a broodmare. And, I'm pretty confident that she's going to throw beautiful foals. And I myself would like to be on a 4 or 5 year ride with her, and let's see 4 or 5 foals out of her and see what they look like. And then I don't think a mare loses. She's only 4. And so by the time she's 9 or 10, you start getting an idea of what her foals are going to look like. And over the course of this show, we'll probably show those off and let people see what she's producing, whether she's what you call an incubator mare, which is a mare that produces exactly whatever the sire looks like.
Yep.
Or if they come out looking like her.
Okay.
And so either's good.
Right.
Like in the case that if they breed her to Curlin body type matched to her body type, and you're going to get genetics from both sides. But it'll be interesting. Is it going to be a chestnut? Is it going to be a bay?
Yeah.
A filly?
Right.
You know, what's it going to look like as compared to what he and her? And this is all assuming John breeds her to Curlin, but that remains to be seen. But yeah, this is fun. It's really neat stuff. You know, when you see a produce and you know what she produces her children per se.
Well, I mean, is there? All right, I understand this is a totally different path, and as you mentioned, it's a longer path. Is it a more expensive path?
No, it can be a very profitable path.
Okay.
I mean, Take Charge Lady was a filly years back that she was sold at public auction for $4.2 million. Her first foal brought $3.2 million.
Wow.
Midnight Bijou recently sold a weanling in Japan for over $3 million.
Okay, so yeah, it could be astronomical.
Yeah, sure. I mean, and like I said, I think if you can view 4 or 5 foals out of her to get an idea what kind of mare what kind of foal she's going to reproduce, those are valuable commodities to people. And you know, if you get a filly, you might want to even keep that filly and keep her in the system. So there's an opportunity for me to possibly even train foals out of her.
And that'd be cool.
Yeah, and once again, that would be market would dictate it. If it's a foal we like a lot and we want to keep part of the family, then we can go on that ride too.
Yeah.
And on note, I'm going to get her half sister's coming to me.
Okay.
She's a yearling.
All right.
And she's going to be coming to me in the next probably week or 2.
What's the name?
Well, After the Storm is her name.
After the Storm.
Yeah.
How fitting.
Yeah. And she's by known agenda out of the Sativis, and same mare, and she looks a lot like Thorpedo Anna, except she's chestnut. So she's by a son of Curlin.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually, we're kind of mating the family in a little Curlin already.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. Judy Hicks owns her 100%.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and she's really fired up. She's
I bet.
we're looking forward to getting her in our hands down there in Ocala.
Okay.
She's going to go to our Silverleaf Hills soon.
Kenny, how many foals can a mare produce? Realistically,
10, 12,
10 or 12,
15. If they cycle good and they turn quick, there's something called a fallow foal. So if a mare misses a season, for those that farm, understand what a fallow field is, where it's left barren for a year, and then they come back and there's the thought that it produces better crops with a year off.
Okay,
and there are those, and I'm a firm believer in it, that a fallow foal is a good foal.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I should know this, Kenny, but how long do horses typically live?
25, 20, 25.
That once they get 25, that's a pretty old
some
horse.
live to 30s. 30.
Okay.
I think there's horses out there that will live to 38.
Gotcha.
Maybe 40. I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know what the record is.
So it also, I saw, and a lot of people I think are a little bit disappointed in this, but sounds like she's going to live at Hillendale.
Yeah. I think John's anxious to get her over there in his farm, and he's got a repro team, and we can go see her if we want to. We'll probably take. I mean, if he'll let us, we'd like to take Cooper, her paddock mate, over there for a transition a little bit better.
I forgot about Cooper. We had a whole conversation on Cooper.
Everybody worries Cooper doesn't get enough peppermint. Cooper gets plenty of peppermint.
I forgot about Cooper.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah. But, Cooper may go over there. I think that's a good transition idea. But I'm not sure John, we hadn't talked about it.
Got it.
Now, she is going to be paraded at Keeneland Saturday.
Nice.
And she's going to be paraded on Sunday at Churchill.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. So for those that follow me on Twitter or X, I'll announce what races they're going to do that. hopefully a little bit later in the day. And then from 11 a.m. to past noon on Saturday, we are going to have an open house at the barn.
Okay. At
Barn
Magdalena?
20, no, at Barn 25 at Keeneland.
Oh, sorry. Got it.
She'll be in stall 1, and we're going to do some photo ops and bring your kids. And if you want to take your picture with her and feed her a peppermint, we're going to do a lot of that.
Awesome.
Yeah. She loves the attention, and it's an opportunity for fans to, so-called kiss her goodbye.
Love it.
And that's nice. We're doing that on our own without encouragement. Keeneland had requested, and Churchill both requested that we do that.
That's cool.
Yeah. I'm all for it. I think it's great.
I mean, she is horse of the year, so
yeah.
it makes sense.
It's
Now,
brought a lot of happiness to a lot of people.
oh, I mean, unbelievable. And the fan base, it's kind of crazy how, the fan base she has created. It's for not only just because you did the wear the pink, and obviously I think the Travers is really when it kind of really, really blew up, but it's just unbelievable how many people just adore that horse.
Well, I think she's a classic American story. She wasn't expensive, so she's got a modest pedigree, and so to some extent she came from nothing.
Yep.
Her mother was a handicap mare that was a giveaway.
Yeah.
And then she was bred by a stallion who's never thrown another good horse.
Right.
And then I bought her for only $40, and that's a working man's horse.
Yeah.
And,
Amen.
And it's not, we're not Godolphin. We're not, the big outfit. We buy, middle range horses, lower range horses, and we've proven we can beat the big boys.
Yep.
Without that have a lot more money.
That's
than
right.
us. So that's fun, and I think that's why some people may be pulled for.
So cool. Excited to see what happens with After the Storm too. That's a neat story as well.
I'll get some pictures. We'll get posted once we get her in Ocala, and we'll start giving her progress. The next Grizzly.
The next Grizzly. Oh man, that's so good. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so last week sounds like it was a pretty good week. A couple wins,
Yeah,
4 wins,
four
or
wins.
5
Had
wins.
a win 4 days in a row at Keeneland. Yesterday we had a nice winner in New York.
Any names you wanna throw out there that did well?
Oh goodness. I think forward, not backward. I was worried about today, not last week. But yeah, I don't know off the top of my head. We did have a bunch.
Yeah. Well, I know. Yeah, and I know. Again, like you said, Keeneland did really, really well last week.
Mm-hmm.
Other than Curlin, is there any other names that you'd like to see Thorpedo Anna bred to?
Well, not this time. I'm sure is going to be an option, and I think Gunrunner's a natural option. They're all different types. Curlin's getting long in the tooth, so I don't know how many chances you're going to get to breed to him.
Yeah.
Whereas,
how old is Curlin, you think?
well, I bought him as a yearling, so I should know that well. I bought him in 2005. He was born in 2004, so he's 21.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to get many windows of time on him.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
So, and you can take different shots at this, right? I mean, obviously it doesn't have to be the same horse. It can be different horses you breed her to.
Well, when you start in with a stallion in a season, you pretty much have to stick to that. You can't jump around after you've done the breeding.
Well, how come?
Well, then there's a notion that she could have conceived with another sire, and you've got to blood type that horse. And but sometimes you do that. Sometimes the stallion won't cover a mare, and that mare is
Stallion just doesn't like the mare.
Yeah, I've seen it happen.
Really? I was gonna say I was kind of curious. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, nope.
For sure, it does happen. Where stallion just doesn't like a mare, or mare doesn't like a stallion.
Like that,
or
not happening.
They're bred several times and they don't conceive, and it might be that, the insemination process doesn't match, or there might be some vets believe that there's something to that, and then in the middle of the season you may switch.
Okay.
But with genetic testing, it's not a huge deal nowadays, but you tend to go down one path and stick to it.
Yeah.
You don't jump around a lot.
Sure.
Yeah. I've never heard of a mare being bred to 3 different stallions in a season.
Okay.
No, not going to happen. But anyway, probably an exception out there somewhere.
All right. So big week coming up for you, Kenny, the Fasig-Tipton sale. What all goes into that for you?
Well, prior to that, we've got Blackout Time, and we've got Mystic Dan getting ready to breeze for their Breeders' Cup weeks, and they've got 2 breezes left So I'm going to jump a topic on you here.
Got it.
We're going to, Mystic Dan and Blackout Time have workouts scheduled for tomorrow and then the following week. And then they go to California on Saturday the 25th.
Okay.
Robbie Alvarado is going to travel out there with one of our other key people. But after those workouts, then my focus is the sale.
Got it.
I've got the Fasig-Tipton yearling sale is, where Anna was bought.
Got it.
She was, I believe, hip number 20.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got to dig in and we've got to look at, I think, 1,600 yearlings over the next 4 days. And so, so it's pretty intense.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. On a personal note, I had an epidural yesterday here locally because I have a bulged disc in my back. And let's just say I'm feeling prepared for the sale because
I bet
I've got the classic sciatica. But anyway, that sale is because you're upright and we're going 10 hours a day. And,
okay.
a lot of action there. But anyway, I've had to be medicated for the sale.
I can relate.
Thank you, Michael Cronin out there. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I tell you what though, man, those do wonders. I've had one of them. They can help.
They're going to trim a disc on me in November.
Okay.
I've got that disc bulge, but anyway, I'm getting a little bit up there in the tooth.
So 1,600 horses. Oh, how in the world do you manage that? You don't look at everyone, right?
Yeah, we do. Dominic Brennan's coming in tonight. Dominic's been my right arm. I always say he's my Robin to Batman.
Yeah.
He's indispensable when it comes to all that.
Right.
He loves looking at horses, and he's broken and trained so many that I've handled, so he knows exactly what I look for.
Sure.
And so we're let's just say we're mentally aligned on what we like. So he does what I call, well, he's short lister. That's the term of his position, but he bird dogs horses.
What's that mean?
Well, he flushes them, flushes the good ones out.
Okay.
And he eliminates all the bad ones.
Okay.
And so he's out there, and let's say we're probably going to look at 800 between Saturday and Sunday.
All right. So he'll figure out the 800 you want to look at.
No, we're going to look at the first 800 on Saturday and Sunday. Then we look at the second 800 on Monday, Tuesday.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And because Monday's the first 400 selling, Tuesday's the next 400 selling.
Okay.
Wednesday 400.
I gotcha.
So we've got to work through that barnyard as fast as we can, and we systematically, we use I use the barn order index where I know where horses are located when I'm looking at them, and then I have actually pretty simple systems: circles, stars, double stars, triple stars. Triple stars horses I see and I'm enamored with immediately. Yep. There aren't many of them.
Okay.
They're few and far between.
Was Thorpedo Anna one of those?
I don't remember that. I have to look at that catalog. I know I single starter, but really a horse only needs a single star to get my attention.
Got it.
And then the single star lists and more are put in a email spreadsheet. And Cindy Greathouse, who works in the office, does that for me. And then she emails it to all the people that are wanting to play.
Got it.
Yeah, and then we go out there and acquire the ones. We have to do the vet exams. We have to make sure that these horses have nothing obvious in their vet history.
Now you don't have your own vets, though, right? That's done by the so you have your own vet exams.
Oh yeah, yeah. Dr. Nathan Cheney does all our pre-sale vet work. He's done it for years.
So every outfit has their own vet exams.
Yeah.
Interesting, because maybe one vet finds something somebody else doesn't.
Well, they have the sellers are required to put their X-rays in a repository.
Yeah.
And those have to be a current X-ray.
Yeah.
And then those X-rays are examined by Dr. Cheney, and then if the X-rays come back clean, then we make a decision on whether we scope or scan that horse.
Okay. I'm
not big on scoping fillies. I think most fillies' throats are okay.
Yeah.
Colts have what they call every now and then they'll have what they call lazy flappers, which is the retinoids in their throat.
Yep.
When you're looking at a horse's throat, and I don't think we've ever touched this topic.
We haven't. This is the first I've heard this.
Okay, when you're looking at a horse's throat, it's like French doors that open and close. Okay, and they have to open symmetrically.
Okay.
And a good throat, an A throat on a thoroughbred, they will hold their air off and see if they open symmetrically.
Yep.
Well, if one door opens and the other one doesn't, That's a bad throat.
Problem.
That means that the air is going to get blocked.
Yeah.
And then the exchange of, oxygen
Yeah.
and carbon dioxide
Sure.
is inefficient.
Yeah.
And that horse usually is compromised.
Got it.
So Dr. Cheney go in there and look at these throats. And a horse can be what they call lazy, where one door opens and then the other one just goes slowly. And he'll call that, asymmetric.
Okay.
Or they don't open the same,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of simplifying it. And
Yeah.
I think people out there could understand that.
Oh yeah,
well.
that was very understandable.
Yeah. And then the other thing is you want to make sure that the airway's got plenty of space.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll analyze what they call the palate.
Okay.
And sometimes there's tissue in the back of the throat that can get up into the airway and compromise a horse's breathing as well. Yeah. It's a
Wow.
it's a big deal.
Yeah.
But I'm somewhat forgiving on what they call osteochondrosis or OCDs, which is a bone development issue where young horses, their bones haven't fully developed.
Yep.
And there might be a lack of density in the joints of the bones.
Okay.
Like Swiss Scott ever had OCDs in both hocks, but I bought her anyway
Okay.
because those you can grow right out of.
Yeah.
Curlin had an OCD, actually one of the most interesting stories ever. Curlin had an OCD in his left front ankle the size of a dime
Okay.
that had been operated on because it had some depth to it, and they cleaned out the bad tissue. And then that takes time for that cartilage to heal. But because the horse is a yearling and growing from 1 to 2, then you're going to get bone development then. And that's the best time to find them.
Makes sense.
And then ultimately the density of that bone will deteriorate a little quicker. So you have to pay attention to that.
Okay.
And you can use substances like hyaluronic or you can Hylartin, and that promotes bone growth.
Right.
And cartilage
Right.
cartilage growth. Veterinarian could probably explain it better than I can. But those are the kind of things we look for. I do not buy horses that have OCDs and stifles.
Okay.
Stifles are really big bone up high. It's where the motor is.
Yeah.
Don't touch them.
Okay.
Just prefer to go on to the next one.
Interesting.
I bought a horse one time with 7 OCDs in the front legs. If the horse didn't have the OCDs, that's, like I said, bone development issues.
Yeah.
He brings 300,000 or 400,000. I bought him for 30.
Yep.
And I told Ray Cottrell, great client here over the years, passed away, but I told Ray, buy this horse and forget about him for 9 months. And we turned him out. We re-x-rayed him. All of them are gone. The horse grew through them.
Yeah.
His bones developed. And,
Yeah.
but you can't put a horse like that in training. You have to wait.
You just gotta wait. You gotta wait it out.
Yep. Just call time out and let them grow and let them, fill in and, maybe X-ray them every other month or every third month until the bone development's there. But Dr. Cheney gives me tips on all this, and he comes back at the end of the season, and I'll have a list of every horse that I've bought,
Okay.
and he will have vet details on all of them, and then we save those for future reference.
Got it.
So we can go, hey, as a yearling, this filly had an OCD in her left ankle, and then when we start having trouble with the left ankle, then we've got a history.
Yeah, we know.
We know what was there. It's very it's very artistic, but it's very detailed. But every horse before we buy it, we know all these details.
Unbelievable. You got a lot of work ahead of you here.
Yeah, I love it. It's the best part. It's
Best
the best.
part. A lot of people, it's interesting. When we had the conversation with Brendan Walsh, I asked him about this piece, and he's like, I have no interest in it.
He doesn't do it.
So some trainers don't even think about this piece of it.
No. Well, he's being sourced horses by Godolphin.
Right. So he
And a
doesn't
lot
have
of
to,
really
right?
good horses.
I mean, yeah.
Doing a great job.
Yeah.
Very impressive young man. But I was always a young trainer that wasn't given those horses. They don't source me those horses.
So you had to go figure it out on your own.
Yeah, well, I'm some say is about as good as anybody in the world at it. I love doing it, but as a young trainer, I think I trained about 8 years, and I just said, I'm so sick and tired of getting all these bad horses from everybody. And I convinced Roy Monroe. I said, let me go buy them.
Yeah.
Let me buy them. And I bought him a Derby horse. 3rd year I bought for him.
What horse was that?
Tejano Run.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then that kind of propelled me into this kind of path.
Right.
And I'll tell all you trainers out there, I'll buy for you one day. I see myself training, and I might have said this before, 7, 9 years more. I don't know. Might train till I'm 70, 72. And then, but I think that the success of buying them, if I do a good job at Fasig-Tipton and Keeneland and all these sales, then I'm rewarded for several years.
That's right.
If I buy good horses. And then I have to buy the horses that can beat Godolphin and beat Juddmonte and beat, the West Points and the Wind Stars. And I have to play on the same racetrack. So I have to figure out how to outsmart them with less money.
Yeah.
And I like doing it.
Okay.
All right. So I'm not going to really change my path. But I do think that more trainers should work sales. And I'd love to see more of them, maybe follow my lead. And they do. I think they do. I think they see it. Guys out there that are hungry, get off your tail and go to the horse sale. Just because you've never done it, you learn every sale.
Yeah.
And every horse you buy, you learn from.
Yeah.
I bought plenty of bad horses, plenty of horses that didn't work out, but I learned from each one of them. And that's the way it is. And the last thing I'll tell you about those sales is that everybody's there. The owners, the breeders are there, the owners, the consigners, people that are networking there. If you don't come, you're invisible. So you have to go. And sometimes it's hard for some trainers to get out of the barn and go because they're busy or they got horses to saddle, or you have to delegate that out during the sale.
Got it.
You have to say, hey team, take care of it. I'll be back when the sale's over. My team understands that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm, my clients understand that. If I do good for them there, then everybody's in good shape.
That's pretty awesome. What a cool, detailed breakdown there, Kenny. That was great. All right, a couple more. You were, I believe, right before we went on air here, you were watching a race. You were watching a race maybe over in Argentina. Is that right?
Yeah.
What were you looking for?
How that horse moved. We're
in the race. Does it matter to you if they win or lose?
Oh, of course, yeah. But more than anything, their style.
Okay.
Yeah, that filly, she kind of grounded out. She won her first start. She was third in her second start, and she was second in the Argentine Oaks. And we're looking at an acquisition of her possibly. I've got a client who's interested in finding a good filly. She's by a pretty good stallion down there, Long Island Sound, who I like the female family on, and he should throw good fillies.
Got it.
But anyway, we're just kind of sniffing around at that.
Okay.
He wants something that he can run, and we'll see how that unfolds.
Yeah, but I was just curious, you're looking at things way different than the normal person. So I was just curious what you were actually trying to see in that race and what you liked and maybe what you didn't like from what the horse was doing.
Well, she looked like a big grinder. She's grinding it out, but she did it with speed.
Okay.
So that's good. Like to see her a little bit quicker turn of foot. And she didn't win impressively first time out, but I didn't get a chance to watch her third race.
Gotcha.
Which I'll do that here in a little bit. But like I said, that's just one of many I'll probably look at, and preferably go down there and lay eyes on her at some point, or get them to send me back a walking video. I've seen a picture and she's a very big filly.
Yeah.
Yeah, which means she should develop right. And then when you bring horses out of Argentina, you're losing 6 months,
right,
because of the hemispheres.
Right.
So that's a whole nother process. Horse has to come into Miami. You need 6 months to acclimatize because, and this is another one we've never talked about, when horses switch hemispheres, they're switching seasons. So think about a mare whose cycles, she thinks it's spring going into summer,
right,
and then into fall and into winter.
Yeah.
And then she comes to North America, and it's all reversed.
It's all flopped on her, yeah.
Yeah, and so it takes time for those fillies to acclimate and get their hormones and their coats.
That's interesting.
And everything to switch direction because of the switching hemispheres. Now, if you're going east to west, Europe, even Dubai, no problem. Even Japan, no problem.
Okay.
But you're not switching hemispheres.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, right.
Yeah, but southern hemisphere, Australia, Argentina, Brazil. I've done a lot of import-export out of Brazil and Argentina.
Right.
Two of the best horses ever out of Brazil I brought here. So Einstein and another horse named Hardbuck and several others. But when you switch hemispheres, it's a bit of a process.
Man,
it takes time.
Okay.
Yeah, and you want to ease them north. You go Miami to Ocala because the weather's more similar, and then in the spring you go on to Kentucky, and then you go on to Saratoga, so that you have to.
I never would have thought about their coats and how all that has to change. That's fascinating.
Yeah, and hormonally, a filly's cycles have to swap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, a lot to it, Kenny.
Yeah.
All right, 2 questions, and we'll get you back to getting prepared for this sale. I know we've asked Kenny who his best horse has been, but who is the most difficult horse in the barn, and how do you navigate that?
Well, the most difficult recently was Smile Happy. I mean, he at some point in time, his light switch just turned off on us. Very successful horse, came into the Derby as one of the favorites, but he just went wrong as he got older. He just got tired of doing what he's doing. Although he's been rehomed and he's a dressage horse now.
What's that mean?
He jumps fences.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Cross country. And he's being loved on by some girl somewhere, but he just decided he wasn't going to be a racehorse. Now I've got every year, every crop has groups of 2-year-olds. So these groups of 2-year-olds, there are always the difficult children.
Yeah.
Right now we got a little horse named World of Rock. We love this colt, gorgeous, but he is, quote, a turd. He wants to argue with the rider. You can't change riders. Actually, Jomar, who gets on all our horses in Florida, fantastic hand. And Jomar says, "I've got his number, boss. Don't worry about a thing." Universe, who is a top 2-year-old that just was third in the Champagne.
Yeah.
In New York, grade 1 placed. A difficult horse to handle. Robbie got on him this week and had no problem. Easy
Interesting.
peasy.
Okay.
Another rider gets on him. He doesn't want to train. I've got another one named Barracks, who's a little difficult. Had a little ankle issue. I think it was pinching him a little bit. We turned him out for a while. We came back and he's been a little mental. So same thing. Jomar gets on him down there in Florida, and he's got him sorted out pretty quickly.
When you say they don't want to run, they just not run? They just stand there? Or what's that look like?
They learn what they can get away with sometimes.
Okay.
And then you get certain riders that are just bad riders that start teaching them bad habits, or that horse doesn't like that person on them. And so you've got to switch quick. And then sometimes horses need to go out with ponies. And you take them with the pony to the pole, and the pony breaks them off, and they do fine. Or sometimes they go out there and they just get balky. I mean, other horses just march to work. I mean, Thorpedo Anna, all her career has marched to work.
Yep.
Loves going to work.
Right.
Let's go.
Yep.
Glad to go.
Gonna beat who everybody's out there.
I'm ready. Mm-hmm. That was her mindset. Other horses, John Henry was a horse that many older fans would remember. You couldn't make him do anything. You had to go out there and stand for, sometimes a half an hour. And then once he decided he was going to go, he'd go. But the trainer, Ron McAnally, knew him.
Yeah.
And didn't make him do anything he didn't want to do.
Gotcha.
And at one point, he was the leading earner in racing history. And then Tisnow was a horse that Chris McCarron could come on this. You talk about a fun guy to have on the show.
Okay.
Yeah. Chris McCarron, famous jockey.
Oh, yeah.
Tisnow was a horse the same way. You couldn't make him do anything. You had to wait till he was ready. And once he decided he was ready, everything was cool.
What do you mean the wait, though? You just he just stands there and just kind of
might just stand there, drop the feet out of the irons. I think Chris could tell the story better than me. From what I recall, he just dropped the feet out of the irons and stand there until he was ready to go. Yeah. And then Bobby Frankel, who I was stabled next to 2 summers at Saratoga, real character of a guy. He's passed away. But man, Bobby was as temperamental as the horses I'm going to mention.
Gotcha.
Empire Maker drove him crazy. Many days Empire Maker didn't want to train. And he had a guy, I don't know where he is now, Jose Cuevas, got on the horse, and every day was an argument. Every day was an argument. I sat there and watched it, and I actually ran against him with Repent, and Repent was a temperamental one too. He gave Helen Pitts, she got on him regularly, and gave Helen Pitts fits going into Louisiana Derby. Refused to train the day before the Louisiana Derby. Gets out there the next day and wins.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and then but Bobby had that whole line of Empire Maker is known for some temperamental.
Haven't been temperamental.
Yeah, of just refusing, and so that's
that's fascinating.
Just kind of way they're all different personalities.
Gotcha.
A lot of them. Our job's to just figure out which ones. Get a rider that gets along with them.
Right.
Find a pony that makes them happy.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, last question. When are the majority of the horses that run in the Kentucky Derby born?
Well, the first Derby horse I trained was a May 15th foal, Tahana Run.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was a late foal. But I would say best guess February, March.
Gotcha.
You'd have to look it up. Northern Dancer, who was a little bitty horse, was a May foal.
So more like January to March, and not so much June to July, right?
I don't think a May foal's a problem. No, I can't recall a June foal being a Derby winner.
Got it.
I don't recall that, but I know that several have been May foals.
Got it.
I believe Thunder Gulch was a May foal, but don't quote me. You can look all that.
Oh
up.
yeah. And you can look that on Horse Races now.
Pedigree query, yeah, in the pedigree section.
Yep.
It'll tell you the foal date. That's good stuff.
Heck yeah. All right, Kenny, anything else before we get out of here today?
I don't think so. Should be an exciting week. We've got some good runners today. I got Maximum Offers, a filly that we're excited about this week. I've got several others. Rattle and Roll's going to come back in the Fayette.
How do you feel about Rattle and Roll's chances right now?
I mean, I just gave him a race against Mystic Dan last time. We thought he'd run a little bit better than he did. Had somebody on X throw a stone at me about his race, but we knew going in that he'd need to run, and we thought if he could run third or fourth or better, with needing a race under his belt, we thought it was a good idea. And I think he ran sixth, but he came out of it fine, and he needed the run, and that preps him good for the Fayette.
Right.
You needed a little race under his belt because he's not eligible for anything.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening to Horse Races Now. Next week, we're going to try to have Brian Hernandez on.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, he's wanting to come back, but he might be in a little bit of a hurry.
He's got to wait a little bit. He can't rush it.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. We'll see you at the races.
Horse Races Now, the app to follow horse racing at over 1,200 tracks worldwide. View entries and results. Get notifications on your favorite horses, jockeys, trainers, racetracks, and owners. Users set up and revise notifications like live video at the gate, call to post, entries, results replays, etc.